In the 1950s, our country was at a height of a time of racial inequalities and segregation. American society experienced conflicts and division during the civil rights movement. The president at this time was Republican Dwight D. Eisenhower. At this time in history, the economy was booming and the military held strong power. In 1954, the Supreme Court ruled that in Brown v. Board of Education, separate educational facilities are inherently unequal. Following this ruling, in 1957, 9 African American students attempted to integrate Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. Civil rights leader Daisy Bates led the 9 African American students to Central High. The students include Thelma Mothershed, Minnie Jean Brown, Jefferson Thomas, Terrence Roberts, Carlotta Walls Lanier, Gloria Ray Carlmark, Ernest Green, Elizabeth Eckford, and Melba Patillo Beals. The students known as the littlerock9 had been recruited by the president of the Arkansas branch of the NAACP. On September 4th, 1957, the first day of school for Central High, Moderate Governor Orville Faubus deployed the Arkansas National Guard to prevent the littlerock9 from entering the school.
I have therefore, in accordance with the solemn responsibilities and the oath of my office, taken the following action. Units of the National Guard have been and are now being mobilized with the mission to maintain or restore the peace and good order of this community. Advanced units are already on duty on the ground.
A white, violent mob surrounded the front of the school in addition to the deployed National Guard. The littlerock9 experienced backlash from the city's white citizens and from other segregation supporters. These white supremacists called for the students to be barred from attending Central High. Protesters accused them of communism and atheism. Martin Luther King, as president of the Montgomery Improvement Association, wrote to President Eisenhower requesting that a resolution be made in order for these children to attend school. In response to Faubus's action, a team of NAACP lawyers won a federal district court injunction to prevent the governor from continuously blocking the
Just got a report here on this end that the students are in. That's right. Turn the TV down that way, Don, down there. You can see from here some of the action occurring down there.
President Eisenhower ordered Faubus to have the guard stand down. President Eisenhower then reluctantly ordered troops from the Army's Airborne Division to protect the students. On September 23, 1957, the students successfully entered the school through a side entrance with help from police escorts. Throughout the school year, they continued to be protected by federal troops and the Arkansas National Guard.
An extreme situation has been created in Little Rock. This challenge must be met, and with such measures as will preserve to the people as a whole their lawfully protected rights. If resistance to the federal court order ceases at once, the further presence of federal troops will be unnecessary and a blot upon the fair name and high honor of our nation.
Thankfully, after a long year of verbal and physical abuse, these 9 students were able to graduate. Ernest Green was the first African American to graduate from Central High School. King attended his graduation ceremony. This case represented a time in history where racism was mainstream, a time where colored people were denied their basic rights. These brave 9 students showed a level of strength that may be overlooked by most. They had the bravery to take a stand and attend a school that they rightfully belonged in. Even with the intense amount of hate from white citizens of Arkansas, they were able to move forward and graduate just as they should have with the other students. This act was the first test since the Supreme Court overturned its doctrine of separate but equal. If you look at our country today, you see the strength and distance we've come since the 1950s.